And to those that started the rumor, that started the lies and then continued to spread the lies, I dare you not to take it down. I dare you to repeat a lie. You're not going to defame my name. Of course the lawyers are in action. Of course the lawyers are in motion and are motivated.
Chris Webber didn't just walk into that courtroom, he walked in carrying something that would change everything forever. The atmosphere was already heavy, but when Chris showed up with solid proof, it felt like the walls could barely hold what was coming. Nobody, not Jackie Christie, not Doe, not even their daughter Chantal, could have prepared for what was about to be revealed.
And this is crazy to come up at this big age of this child. She's in her 30s.
And so this rumor was so rampant that my girl Keys was at my house and she was like, did you hear that Doug Christie and I was like, wait, I don't know if because anyway, Chris Webber, who normally would not address such a thing, went on social media and said this.
That's why I'm gonna give this friendly reminder to some of my friends out there that you can't believe everything you read, see, or hear on the internet. Especially when they're all lies. No proof, just made up lies. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to issue my one and only advisory. If you have a platform and you have content with my name attached to lies, take it down now.
People had been whispering for years, but no one had come forward like this before. It wasn't just about gossip anymore. This was about truth, and Chris came ready to lay it all out. The tension in the room was so thick you could almost feel it pressing down on your chest. Jackie had worked hard for so long to keep her family's name clean, to shut down every rumor that Doe might not be Chantal's real father. Over and over, she insisted that Doe was Chantal's dad. She said it was disrespectful to even suggest otherwise, that people were just trying to tear her family apart. But deep down, the cracks had been forming for years.
This is so funny because I don't know if you heard this rumor, but there was this rumor going around that Doug Christie was suing Chris Webber for $4.6 million because of the paternity of Jackie Christie and Doug Christie's child. So that was the rumor, that Chris Webber was really the father.
Chris wasn't some stranger. He wasn't a random name people threw out. He was there in Jackie's life back when she first came to Los Angeles. He was part of the same social circles, went to the same events, and shared more than just a passing moment with her. But Jackie had always stood her ground. She called all the talk lies, the kind meant to break up a family that had survived so much. On the outside, Jackie looked like the perfect wife and a devoted mother. She smiled for the cameras, acted like she had nothing to hide, but behind closed doors, things weren't so simple. Chantal had questions. She wasn't a little girl anymore, and she wanted real answers. Every time she asked, Jackie either got angry or shut down completely. And Doe? He stayed quiet, like he was holding back more than he was willing to say. He never looked comfortable when the subject came up.
My brother from the Fab Five, Chris Webber, name is in the news now. And Chris Webber has a video out now where a lot of stuff he's not happy about. And I want to say to the brother Chris Webber, man, do you know once your name is out there, all of these people who do these, especially the AI videos.
It all boiled over when Chantal said enough was enough. She wanted the truth, not rumors, not guesses, but facts. That's when the lawyers came in, and Jackie realized that no amount of spin could protect her this time. What she had fought so hard to keep hidden was about to come crashing down. Then Chris walked into that courtroom. He wasn't there to cause a scene. He came in calm, serious, holding a simple manila envelope that felt heavier than it looked. Everyone turned as he approached. Not because of who he was, but because of what he carried. When the judge told him to speak, Chris didn't waste words. He said, in a voice that was firm but tired, "This envelope contains the truth we've all avoided for 20 years. And with that, the air was sucked out of the room. Inside that envelope was everything. A DNA report showing Chris was almost certainly Chantal's biological father, a 99.7% match. Hotel records proving that he and Jackie had stayed together multiple times around the time Chantal was conceived. The evidence wasn't vague. It was clear. Both of their names were on the documents.
Trust me, but brother Chris, man, they gonna lie about this, they gonna lie about that. It's part of this world called the internet. You really can't believe everything you see on the internet that they say about people, but what the fuck is true?
Then came the letters, Jackie's own words, written to Chris, showing that their connection was deeper than anyone had known. One letter said, "You'll always be a part of my heart, no matter what happens." And then the voicemails. Jackie's voice, shaking but clear, "I just can't tell Doe. You know what this would do to my family." No one moved. No one spoke. Jackie blinked fast, trying not to cry. Doe lowered his head, the weight of the moment sinking in. Chantal clutched her coat, holding back tears. Chris wasn't finished. He pulled out one last piece, a letter he'd kept for decades. As he read it aloud, the room was frozen. Jackie had written, "Doe can't know. I'll say it's because of his strong genes. Don't ruin me, Chris." That was it. Doe jerked as if the words had hit him physically. Everything he thought he knew, everything he'd built with Jackie, now felt like a lie.
But that's that. If anyone else that wants some insight and a story or some tools of how to get through the distractions, how to stay focused during the bull, go get my book.
He'd been a father, a protector, and a partner, but now he didn't know who he'd been protecting or what he'd been part of. Before anyone could react, Doe collapsed. His legs gave out, and he hit the floor hard. Court officers rushed over to help, but Jackie just stood there, stunned, unable to speak. Chantal couldn't take it anymore. Tears streamed down her face as she grabbed her things and ran out of the courtroom, trying to hide her sobs. Jackie, desperate, started to speak. "Your Honor, this isn't what it looks like," but the judge cut her off. "Mrs. Christie, sit down. You're out of order." It wasn't reality TV. It wasn't something that could be edited or spun. This was real life, and Jackie was watching it fall apart right in front of her. But it wasn't over. The door opened again, and this time, it was Chantal who came back in. Her face was red, her makeup smeared, but there was a new determination in her eyes. She didn't look at her mother. She didn't even glance at Chris. She walked straight to the judge and handed him a flash drive. "What's this, Miss Christie?" the judge asked. Chantal's voice was quiet but steady. "Something I found last year when I was going through my mom's old things. I didn't understand it at the time, but now I do." The judge called a short break, but no one left. When court resumed, he played the recording. It was Jackie's voice again, but this time full of rage and fear. "I swear I'll kill you if you tell anyone. Chris, don't ruin what I've built." The room was silent except for the sound of Doe's heavy breathing. He stood up, shaking, and shouted, "So to cover your lie, you are going to accuse him of assault?" Jackie said nothing. She kept her head down, unable to deny it, but unable to defend herself either. Chantal wiped her tears, feeling the weight of everything. It wasn't just about DNA. It was about all the lies, the manipulation, the years of pretending. But Doe wasn't done. He turned to the judge and said something that broke the last piece of Jackie's world. "I'm filing to have my name removed from Chantal's birth certificate." Jackie gasped. "You can't do that? You raised her. She's your daughter?" Doe didn't shout. His voice was low, full of hurt. "I lived a lie." Chantal spoke, her voice cracking. "I just wanted the truth. That's all I ever wanted." The courtroom wasn't just a place of law that day. It was a place where a family's secrets spilled out, where decades of lies fell apart, and where trust was shattered beyond repair. Doe walked out without another word. Jackie thought it couldn't get worse. But it did. Later that day, VH1 announced Jackie was suspended from Basketball Wives. The network said legal issues and ethical concerns meant they couldn't keep her on the show. The fame Jackie had built now felt like a curse. Then came more bad news. Chris Webber's lawyers announced he would sue Jackie for emotional harm, harassment, and defamation. He'd kept quiet for years while she painted him as unstable, but now he wanted justice. They also planned to go after retroactive child support, since Chris had missed out on being a father because of Jackie's lies. Jackie tried to say it was just more hate aimed at her, but no one believed her anymore. And then, federal investigators got involved. That voicemail from Jackie wasn't just a personal threat, it became evidence in a separate case. Jackie's charity work was under review. Allegations of fake financial reports, misused donations, and false tax filings came to light. Subpoenas were sent out. People who once praised Jackie now turned their backs on her. Social media exploded. One person tweeted, "Jackie always acted like she had it all together. Now we see the truth." Another said, "Doe and Chantal deserve peace." Jackie treated real lives like they were part of a script. Chris didn't stay for the cameras. He left quietly, hands in his pockets, head down. Doe filed to cut off all emotional and financial ties to Jackie. Chantal was left lost, questioning everything she thought she knew. Jackie was left alone with no Doe, no Chantal, no Vaughn, and no public sympathy. In just days, everything she'd tried to protect crumbled. Chris came searching for truth, and all he found were the ruins of a life built on lies. This time, Jackie had no way to cover it up. What do you think about this shocking story? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates as this situation unfolds.